Okay, sige. So, part of the module is for us to be familiarized on how the assembly language programming looks. So this lesson is actually anchored on, is grounded on how the evolution of the programming language become. So our learning outcomes for this afternoon is to understand the fundamentals of the assembly language and some arithmetic operations and conditional processing on registers and immediate data. So not really to perform, just to familiarize, since we are not going to program. I would just like you to see how the programming language has evolved from the low level programming language to the high level programming language such as the C++ and so on and so forth, other programming languages that we have right now. So here are some of the basic elements of an assembly language. One is the integer constants, integer expressions, character and string constants, reserved word identifiers, directives and instructions, labels, mnemonics and operands, comments, and examples. So we are going to have or look for, be familiar or be acquainted rather with some of its examples in the assembly language. Okay. The first one, which is the integer constants. So it's optional, leading to a positive or negative sign. Some of the common radix characters are katong hexadecimal, decimal, binary. R is encoded real. So kaning hexadecimal, very familiar na ta with that. And we have already been acquainted to the a conversion, no, of these number systems. So example, if you say 30D, that's a 30 days. That means to say that the data is in decimal format. When you say 6AH, that becomes the hex, 6A hex. Then we have 42. For example, 42D, that's also decimal. 110B is a binary. So hexadecimal beginning with letter, example is 0A5 hex. Okay, so integer expressions. So some of the expressions that we see in assembly language, we have the parenthesis, no? Ang precedence level niya is siya ang pinakauna na i-calculate, no? I-perform. Next, the unary plus and minus. So that's the level 2 of the precedence of the order of calculation or processing. Third is the multiply divide. Fourth is the modulus. Fourth is the modulus, no, third, dalawang third sa precedence level, no, si modulus, multiply, and divide. And then lastly, add, subtract is the last one. So examples natin dito is, for example, we have an expression 16/5, the value is 3. Then you can see that we have here parentheses, so that is the precedence. This is first, and then the next one is to negate, no, for example, so this is 7, mahimog -7, and then you multiply afterwards. So you have a -35 as your value. Okay, so because this is -7 times 5. Okay, this one, mauna si multiply divide before the other operators. So this is -3 plus 24, -21. Ba? 24. 24 minus 3, 21. 21 minus 1, that is positive 20. Okay, 25 modulus 3 is 1 because modulus is to get the remainder of your of this, no, 25 divided by 3. So since this is 8, no, and then you have 24, then you have remainder 1. So the value of that one is 1. So this modulus is very commonly used widely sa programming when we want to get the if a number is an odd or an even. So we need to say that if 0 yung kanyang remainder, then of course we let that as our even number. Okay. Now in assembly language, we also have character and string constants. So enclosed character in single or double quotes, you have a character na A, no? That's actually 8 bits or 1 byte, and a character X is an 8-bit as well or 1 byte. So isang character is equivalent again to 8 bits. You can also try that in typing in a notepad and then save it and then check the size of the text file. So nakalagay dyan 1 byte. So that's equivalent to 8 bits. So one character equals 8 bits or 1 byte. Enclosed strings in single or double quotes. So ABC, that's 24 bits na or 3 bytes. No? So once again, these characters occupies a single byte. So XYZ as well holds as 24 bits or 3 bytes. Okay, let's talk about reserved words and identifiers. So let's get acquainted with this. No? Kasi whenever we look at an assembly language programming, it's really difficult to understand. No? So if we get acquainted and know some of its processes or its functions, then we can be able to, understand if you get to familiarize it. So reserved words cannot be used as identifiers. Instruction mnemonics, directives, type attributes, operators, predefined symbols. Identifiers, no, that's 1 to 247 characters. That includes the digits. So muna siyang identifiers. So it's case sensitive, no, but the first character must be a letter. Directives, command understood by the assembler. So unsa tong directives ni ang masabtan lang ni assembler, mabuti mong directives or command na ibutang. Example, sa man na siya. We can see here that the directive is kanang section data. That's a directive and that is under the NASEM, no? NASEM. NASEM means the Netwide Assembler, okay? And MASEM is a Microsoft Macro Assembler. So kaning si NASEM is different from MASEM. Okay? So these are directives. Mura siya og kanang lahi na programming language kung ato pang i-compare sa ato ang current trend nowadays sa programming language. So we can see that the reserved words here are move, kani siya, int, we have EBX, EAX, EDX, XOR, and so on. So muna siya mga reserved words. Identifiers here, kani, message. So these are names created by the programmers or for labels or variables. So identifiers are variables, no? Kung ato pang ato pang i-compare again sa ato ang ginabuhat karon, no? Sa programming language. So sila tong ginatawag na ni identifiers, so variables. Directives, no, kaning section global kani siya. This is directive. So these instruct the assembler on how to organize code. So wala siya si directive. Mayon pug kaog directive sa MASEM pod, which is different from the NASEM. Si NASEM, si MASEM rather, ang reserved words niya is very similar, no? So kato kung familiar ta ato mga ipangbuhat nato sa 8086 sa katong mga program instructions, no? Mga identifiers, mga opcodes like move, shift, shift right, and so on and so forth, XOR. So we can understand or we can easily program in an assembly language na IDE, no? Kaya naman tayo mga compilers na or emulators na mabuhat nato ni siya. Okay, so identifiers here are katong variables like the message, what else? Main, no? So identifiers na siya. And the directives are katong that data, that code, NP, or end daw, ana, NP, directives siya. Mean to say that it's directing you to do these processes. So, what is a NASEM and MASEM, by the way? So, ang MASEM or ang NASEM, once again, NASEM is a net-wide assembler. It's actually more popular in like Linux development and some open source projects. Si MASEM naman, which is the Microsoft Macro Assembler, is more popular in Windows specific enterprise and legacy code environments. So NASEM, MASEM. So as you can see that this code is equivalent to this. However, it kind of vary on siguro sa environment, no? So MASEM is Windows specific. NASEM is more popular in Linux, no, for learning. Okay? And open source projects.